Ben is the only person who is out.
Yeah.
He had the Lakers beating the Nets, and LeBron winning Finals MVP. Joel also had the Lakers in the final, and so did Don. Had the Lakers in the final. I am the only one.
No, Don had the Clippers.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don picked Bucks versus Clippers, and he had a Clippers win and Kawhi Leonard as the MVP.
For some reason, I have the Bucks on Giannis winning Finals MVP for them. So
I listened to it the other day, so I was.
So yeah, the Lakers got bounced by the Suns. Anthony Davis got injured twice in 3 games, and LeBron James gave up on his team. So now we actually have a really good second round because, yeah, all these series. So you got Atlanta versus 76ers. Atlanta surprisingly won the first game. They are at halftime right now, 55-57. The Clippers put away the Mavericks, so they're playing the Utah. Their game 1 is tonight. And then you have the Nuggets and the Suns, and you have the Nets and Bucks, which is probably – so, like, I think the 76ers and Hawks is probably potentially the worst series. Like, if Joel just takes over, he can just take over. But the Suns, Nuggets, Bucks, Nets, and Clippers, Utah are all incredible series. I know Nets have kind of handled the Bucks these first 2 games. I don't think that's going to be the rest of the series, but like this second round is just the best round of NBA basketball playoffs in probably like a handful of years, just because LeBron James is gone.
Well, I think the other thing is there are still teams like that have really good big threes and stuff, but like I think the NBA is now more well-rounded again. It's kind of more back to earth. There's not like the Warriors who were so much better for years than everybody else.
Well, there's really no team where you're just like, oh, they're gonna win.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, there is kind of. I think the Nets, from a pure talent standpoint, are the best team, and I think it's pretty clear when they put it all together, they are. And I don't know if a team can really score with them when they're firing on all cylinders. But they've shown a propensity to not do that all year long. You know what I mean? Like they have not always been that just dominant force of a team, just because you've got the people who are on that team.
The 3 personalities that just
I mean, KD's kind of a weirdo. James Harden's certainly weird. Kyrie is extremely strange. Like you just got guys kind of in their own headspace sometimes, and I'm not saying they're selfish. I'm not saying they're doing it for their own thing, but like they're just not always going the same direction. And it hasn't always been, and they haven't all been healthy. And if you don't have them all going the same direction and not healthy, then they can be beat. So, unlike, the Warriors from a few years ago, you're like, man, I don't know who can beat them. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just got to say that I think our LeBron rants was on par for how he went for the rest of this series. Obviously, just giving up in so many different areas of the games.
Yeah.
Garbage. He's just garbage.
Like, what was that one where he took 14 seconds to walk to the other side of the court because he was busy complaining about a foul that didn't get called?
Yeah. He's just like, dude. Yep. And it didn't get enough, like, media. It didn't get enough attention because ESPN loves LeBron. So anyway,
to me, like I even in the NBA playoff preview, I was pretty high on the Hawks, obviously as a potential upset team, but I still don't see I think this game still goes in 6. I think the Hawks get 1 more maybe, but I think the 76ers could run away with that one.
Yeah, I don't know. Like as long as Simmons stays on Trae Young, but I mean, so right now Simmons has 4 points. Like Ben Simmons needs to be the number 2. Like he needs to be the number 2. He needs to be consistent. He needs to be good, and he needs to be 20 points per game at least. Like I just don't see how. Like I think I might have said it. I think someone said it in our preview of like they aren't limited by how high Joel Embiid can take them. They're limited by Ben Simmons.
Yep.
Can he step up and find out what he's supposed to do? Lock down on defense, and like he's been pretty good on Trae Young. He's only got 11 points this game, and I haven't been watching it, but I assume Ben Simmons has been guarding him. But yeah, like you can't rely on like right now Seth Curry has 14. You can't rely on Seth Curry getting 25 points a game. Like even Tobias Harris, I don't think you can really rely on him getting you 30. and it's got to be Ben Simmons. So if he doesn't step up, like I think the Hawks. The thing with the Hawks is they just have like guys all over the place. You got Bogdanovich, you got Trae Young, you got John Collins, you got Gallinari. Like you have a lot of players who you can find points from. But I do still think, like I picked the 76ers to win the championship, kind of cheeky. So I think they will figure it out. I think Ben Simmons will step up, but he's just really got to. But yeah, I mean, the Nets just look like they are plowing through. They beat, was it 40 points they beat the Bucks by last night? Like ridiculous. Like Blake Griffin looks like all-star Blake Griffin. And then like I know Harden and Harden's out. Like Harden's been out both these games.
Mhm.
Like and they're just kind of mopping the floor with them. So yeah, I think the next Nets are that like last team where it's like, okay, they're clearly going to be there. But with Harden out, however long that is, I mean, it wouldn't be surprising if the Bucks came back and made this a series. It wouldn't be surprising if Philly figured it out and made the Eastern Conference Finals really difficult for them. So I'm really interested in the Western Conference. So like the Nuggets, the Jazz, the Suns, even the Clippers, like they seem to figure it out. Kawhi's kind of taking over. Like those are all four teams where like if you said they make it to the finals, I'm like, yeah, I could see them in the finals.
I mean, the Clippers had probably one of my favorite first round games to watch. I mean, with the Mavs and what Luka Doncic was doing against them too by himself, like that made that series entertaining for sure. But you know, obviously Luka Doncic can't do it all by himself. But like he gave it everything he had. I felt so bad for him watching him walk off that court.
Mm-hmm.
But dang.
Well, they play no defense. I mean, he plays no defense either. So
yeah, but he still. I mean, he put up like 9 rebounds, 14 assists, and like 43 points in his last game. And I'm like, you knew that he left it all out there to try to keep him in. But